I've always been looking for the perfect beach, which is great beach, great food, great Wi-Fi, not too expensive. And I thought that was a unicorn. It did not exist until I discovered Vung Tau. Welcome to Vung Tau. Now, my introduction might have been misleading, but it was actually factual. So Vung Tau has been around for a long time. Portuguese colonizers were here, of course, then the French. In the 70s, the Russians helped kickstart the oil and gas offshore industry here. And it has been a very popular place for people from Saigon to visit for generations. They come here on the weekend to escape the heat. It might not be the most beautiful beach in Southeast Asia, but it is the closest to the city. And that's why in 2005, Vietnam has been restructuring provinces and cities and municipalities. They decided to make Vung Tau part of Ho Chi Minh City. So it's an administrative change that I think symbolically made a lot of sense to people from Saigon who are so familiar with this area. For me, it seems a little bit odd because if you take the old highway like we did by limousine taxi, it takes 2 hours to get here, but it's still in the city. But actually there is a new highway that has been built that will join Vung Tau to the new airport and then on to Saigon, and that will only take 50 minutes. But wow, Ho Chi Minh City is now a very big city.
I see you every morning. Oh, I just wanna get to know you.
Now it's 8 a.m. in Back Beach on a Saturday, and so this is going to be the place to be today, which is why I'm doing it first before all the crowds come. I can already see corporate team buildings happening, people are setting up, buses are coming in. This beach is really built up over the past few years, and I think that's because of the investment in the highway. This is the place to be, a lot of construction with hotels, but also they built up this really nice beach area. The best part of the beach is actually similar to Da Nang, to Quy Nhon, to Nha Trang, and that is there's no accommodation rate on the beach. Other people might not like that, but I do, because it means that you just get the beach, there's nothing private, everything's public, and because Vung Tau is really a beach, a tourist area for Vietnamese, the prices are set, and they are set at a really good price. So this is actually a really great place to see Vietnamese vacationing on the weekend.
Is it 'cause that I'm in love, girl?
On a sad note, I want to say rest in peace to my hat because I left it in the taxi limo. I've been looking for one. Surprisingly, I haven't been able to find one yet, but maybe today because it is Saturday. But we came here on Wednesday, so I've been using Alan's hat. He's not feeling well, unfortunately, so he's missing a lot of this. But I want to share with you the prices because they're actually quite good. So if you look, they're both in Vietnamese and in English. A coffee here is less than half of what I've paid at a nice cafe. So really good prices. Coconut is only 40, which I think is probably the same price as in Saigon. And then what you'll see here is one umbrella, 3 chairs, or 2 chairs, because a lot of people come with their families, and there is a different price between weekends and holidays, but you know guys, it's like the law of supply and demand. So we arrived here on a Wednesday, and this place was very quiet, but I can already tell the weekend is going to be completely different. So it's nice to see, I guess, the difference, because if I moved here, I think what I would do is spend most of my time on the beach during the week, and on the weekends, maybe skip it. Now, if you have issues with mobility, this is actually really great, and I think it does speak to Vietnam's sense of community and also respect for its elders. Everything here is so flat, so easy to walk, you know, completely different than trying to navigate the sidewalks of Saigon. But I actually wanted to share with you this right here, this piece of artwork, because I think it's so interesting. It's called Tam Trang. And basically what it is, it's a set of concrete pillars that mimic 3 bows of boats going out to sea. During the day, it glistens in the sun. At night, it actually lights up. And there are a number of things around here that light up at night. And that's because at night, things change. You know, the umbrellas go away, but there are lots of little plastic chairs that go on the sand. So you can get like a cool drink or whatever. People are playing sports, running, taking advantage of the cool air. So let's head away from the beach into the city where it's a little bit cooler. I had to change my clothes. I had sweat through them completely, and actually it was good to have a shower. Alan is having a massage at our hotel. Now, almost everyone who comes and makes videos about Vung Tau says to go to the Song, and so we thought we should go there too. But at the very last minute, I saw a video of a guy who lived in Vietnam, and he said the Song is amazing, the apartments are fantastic, but the elevators are a nightmare. And then I started to see comments of other people saying 20 to 25 minutes to take an elevator, and that is because I think it's almost 40 floors, maybe even more, and they've only got 4 elevators, and it's very busy all the time. And so even though the rooms are great, if you get a high up floor, you're going to have to spend a lot of your day just waiting for an elevator. I didn't want to do that, and so we're staying just a 2-minute walk away at the Sim Hotel. Now, it's a hotel that I think is a little bit old, but they have recently renovated it, except for the bathrooms, which is fine. It's really fantastic, and actually I think our room rate is under $8.50 a night. The beds are hard. I like it that way. Anyway, this is where we're staying, so if you can get a low floor in the Song, I've heard it's fantastic, it looks beautiful, but after a long day at the beach, we do not want to have to wait up to half an hour to get into our room. So we actually really like it here. The people here are so nice. So we just picked up a motorbike to rent for 3 days. It was $150 a day, but for 3 days they gave it to us for $400, which I thought was nice. They did ask for Alan's international driver's permit, which he has for motorcycles, along with a motorcycle driver's license for Indonesia. I think that Vietnam is becoming much more strict about this. If you do not have one, there are a number of people, including I think the place where we went, that will rent you a smaller electric scooter, and I think because of the number of cc's, it is legal for people who don't have the proper license to drive. But just keep in mind, if you do find someone who will rent you one and you don't have the proper license, your travel insurance is completely invalid. So if you get into an accident, you hurt yourself, you hurt someone else, there's no one to help you, you're on your own. Now, the beautiful weather is not why I love Vung Tau. In fact, when we first arrived, it was raining. It looked like it was going to rain for days, and I thought, I'm not going to be able to make a video here because nobody wants to watch a beach video in the rain, even if the seafood is good. And so we just decided to stay because we had the hotel booked, and we're running our errands, doing some things, going to coffee shops. You know, we sat down at this spot in town away from the beach that had sugarcane juice, and I thought, wow, Vung Tau is amazing. The beach is great. Like, it's really, really great, but there are lots of beaches. But the town, when you get a few blocks away, is so green, so many restaurants. It's really so nice here. This is what has changed my mind. And so right now, we're going to go for lunch in a restaurant in the neighborhood in town, away from the ocean, away from the tourists, and I think it's gonna be good. So we're here at Ak Kam, and you know, finding the right place to go in Vung Tau is interesting. Now, some people think that the best seafood actually goes into Saigon, but I think locals like to keep some good stuff for themselves. But I did not want to choose a place that was on the water, really big, brought in lots of tour groups. I wanted something actually in town because I think that's a better chance of getting a place that is good, where Vietnamese go and also where locals go. And so I found this spot far away from the ocean, but it is so cute. It's very small, and it looks like actually they have this business here and one over there. Anyway, we've ordered a couple of dishes. We're just waiting for them. I think it's going to be delicious. Food is starting to come in. I think we've made the right decision because it looks so good. Adam reminded me that we're not going to get full on oysters alone, so we ordered instant noodle with some razor clams, which looks fantastic, comes with a sauce. Then we were actually looking for oysters, but they don't have them here. But they do have, I think these are actually mussels, and they come in scallion oil. and also some peanuts. They look fantastic. And then we have a little bit of snails in a lot of garlic, also supposed to be a local favorite. And then finally, I can't remember the name of this dish, but it is an salted egg sauce, which everyone says is fantastic. Very common here in Vung Tau. So I don't know, we're gonna try a bunch of things. They also have lots of different sauces to dip things in, including my favorite. I discovered this green seafood sauce in Mui Ne back in 2023. I could drink it. I love it so much. We're just gonna try, eat all of it, and I'll let you know how it goes at the end. I think it's gonna be a good one.
I eat one, I take a bite, and it's chewy but delicious.
Alan just told me he doesn't need to be on camera. He's so hungry, he just wants to eat. So this is actually scallops, and it's in a salted egg sauce. I couldn't remember because we looked at so many things to eat. Super interesting. Cooked perfectly. I come from a province, Digby scallops, famous around the world. These ones are smaller, and the sauce is almost cheesy, salty, sweet. It's a really interesting sauce. It doesn't overpower the seafood. You still get to taste the scallop, which is super sweet. This is a really great dish. So many things to try here. One of the things that I did ask Alan was about the razor clams, because I don't think he's had them before. Razor clams are not round. They actually come in a long, well, it looks like a razor. They're a little bit chewy, but really tasty, full of flavor. Actually tastes a little bit more like mussels to me. Did you try the mussels yet? These ones? How was it? How good is it compared to oyster?
Oyster actually has a different taste with the oyster.
Yeah.
But this one is tender.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
And honestly, oyster is softer.
Yeah. If you don't love oyster, let me know. You can have them cooked. You can have them raw. I love them both ways. Let's get into this. So I actually think these are mussels. They're a little bit lighter in color, but about the same shape. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know. Oh my God, I'll be roasted by the Maritimers if I'm wrong on this one. Let me get a little bit of this green seafood sauce. And I love that they have so many peanuts. Now I'm gonna get roasted for this by the Maritimers, but I think these are actually mussels, but they're light. Or maybe they're clams? I don't know, but I put a little bit of seafood sauce on them. And this one's gonna be a little bit messy. This is awesome. I love this green seafood sauce. So good. This is an amazing lunch. Now, I don't know a lot about Vietnamese food. I'm still learning, but I do know about good seafood. And this place has nice, fresh seafood, and it's cooked perfectly. Some of the things are chewier than others, but still very tender. Ooh, that seafood sauce, just a little bit hot, but really, really good. A lot of people come to the hill to go to the coffee shops. There are so many up here that overlook onto the water. So picturesque, and actually not more expensive than the coffee shops down below. I think each of our teas, Alan got a honey orange juice. I have a guava strawberry tea, and we got a slice of chocolate cake. And I think each were under $2, so really, really good price. This one, I think, is the one that people go to take lots of photos. So it's very green, lots of photos, lots of photographers taking photos and flowers, and it's just a really nice time to get under some trees, enjoy the shade, and the view of the water is so beautiful. I just want to say strawberry guava is now my new favorite combination. The guava is a little bit tart. So a lot of teas here, especially the fruit teas, I think are a little bit too sweet. But this one is just tart, strawberry, guava. It's good. All right, so the plan was to go to the Christ the King statue, but what we did not realize is it's a huge pilgrimage center. It's not just a statue up on a hill. If you want to come, you do need to have pants or a long skirt on, and you also need to have sleeves. Unfortunately, we're both in shorts, so it's not going to happen. Now, when you come down here, entrance is free, and if you're on a motorbike, they'll actually let you park for free, and the parking attendant let us know that we were welcome to come, but we actually had to change our pants because we're both wearing shorts. It's still hot out, I'm sure, as you can see. So we are just surviving in this weather. But, you know, this was built, started in 1974, completed in 1994 by the Vietnamese Catholic Church, and it's a huge spot for Christians to come to, not only Vietnamese, but also from abroad. And what's really cool about it is, Alan brought up the one in Rio, and so I looked it up thinking, how much smaller is this compared to the one in Rio? It's actually taller. It is the largest Christian statue in all of Southeast Asia. And so I'll show you. It looks really beautiful here. And I believe it's 133 steps to the top. Probably not something we wanted to do right now because it is so hot, but you're not allowed to bring in food and drink. However, they do encourage you to bring in a water bottle because they do have free water stations and also restrooms. But also no smoking, so keep that in mind. The rules are posted everywhere. People are super nice. I think it would be a really great thing to see, but not for us today. Another time, maybe very early in the morning.
So I asked to save fish, then massage the head.
So we weren't able to go to the statue. Alan decided it was time for him to get a shave. And Vietnam is a perfect place to do that. You can come to the barber shop and it's very inexpensive, as are a lot of personal care things. And you know, Asian men do take care of themselves. Vietnamese men, very well groomed. So Alan is getting a face massage mask and then also a shave, which desperately needed. And it's 150,000 dong. Now, here, you can do the full combo king, which is like a haircut, shave, a bunch of peels, masks, ear cleaning. They'll do your fingernails, toenails, foot soak, hand, arm, neck, like basically everything massaged, you sitting in the chair, hairspray, and it's for 580,000 dong. Now, when I think about at home, that is probably for a men's haircut, half price. All right, we made it just in time for sunset. Now, if you want to see sunset in Vung Tau, you need to leave Back Beach and come around the peninsula to Front Beach. It's also known as the City Beach. Right behind me, they have this really beautiful park, lots of green magnolia trees, lots of flowers, smells so good. You'll find people there during the day because there's lots of shade and there's great artwork. And then in the front here, basically during the day, nobody's on this city beach, but after work, after school, everybody comes down for a swim before the day ends. They're not going to burn in the sun and the water is just perfect. And that's kind of the way Vung Tau is, to be honest. You know, I didn't expect to love it. I thought it would be an okay beach and I would say, well, it's good coming from Saigon. I did not expect to think, wow, I could live here. Now, I do love Saigon and I love Vietnam, but there's just something Vung Tau has. I've been traveling in the world looking for a beach town that had a great beach, great food, great Wi-Fi, was safe, and not too expensive. And like Vung Tau is really hitting all of these things for me. So this is the last video from Vung Tau from now. Next video, I'm going to be on a place that should be fantastic. It's highly rated, but I am seriously considering moving here. I think Vung Tau could be perfect. If you're from here, if you live here, let me know. Is this just like the shine of being here for a few days, or is this city really this great? Yeah, see you in the next video.